Good morning, student. Total will be study of class 6, subject moral science. Your book name is Friendship with Values. Now, now will be start chapter 1, My Greatest Olympic Prize. It was the summer of 1926. The Olympic Games were being held in Berlin because Adolf Hitler childishly insisted that his performers were members of a master race. Nationalistic feelings were running high. I was not too worried about all this. I did trained, sweated, and disciplined myself for 6 years with the games in mind. While I was going over on the boat, all I could think about was taking home one or two of those gold medals. I had my eye especially on the long jump. A year before, I did set the world record of 26 feet 8 inch. Everyone expected me to win that Olympic event hands down. I was in for a surprise when the time came for the long jump trials. I was started to see a tall boy hitting the pit at almost 26 feet on his practice leaves. He turned out to be a German named Louis Long. I was told that Hitler had kept him hidden away, evidently hoping that he would win the jump. I surprised that if Long won, it would would it would add some new support to the Nazis' Aryan superiority theory. After all, I was a Negro, a little hot under the collar about Hitler ways. I determined to go out there and really show the Führer and his master race who was superior and who was not an angry athlete is an athlete who will make mistake. As any coach will tell you, I was no no exhibition on the first of my three qualifying pump. I leaped from several inches beyond the takeoff board for a no jump. On the second jump, I was even worse. Did I come 3,000 miles for this? I thought bitterly. To fail in the trials and make a fool of myself. Walking a few yards from the pit, I kicked discouragedly at the ground. Suddenly, I felt a hand on my shoulder. I turned to look into the friendly blue eyes of the tall, tall German long jumper. He had easily qualified for the finals in his first attempt. He, he offered me a firm handshake. This once I am Louis Long. I did not think we have met. He spoke English well. though with a German twist to it. Glad to meet you, I said then, trying to hide my nervousness. I added, how are you? I am fine. The question is, how are you? What do you mean? I asked. Something must be eating you, he said, proud the way foreigners are when they they have mastered a bit of slang. You should be able to qualify with your eyes shut. Believe me, I know it, I told him, and it felt good to say that to someone. For the next few minutes we talked together. I did not tell Long what was eating me, but he seemed to understand my anger, and he took pains to reassure me, although he did been he had been squelched in the Nazi youth movement. He did not believe in the Aryan supremacy business any more than I did. We laughed over the fact that he really looked the part, though an inch taller than me. He had a lean, muscular frame, clear, clear blue eyes, fair hair, and strikingly handsome face. Finally, seeing I had climbed down, he pointed to the take of bold. Look, he said, why don't you draw a line a few inches behind the bolt and aim at making your take off from there? You will be sure not to fall, and you're certainly out to jump for enough to qualify. What does it matter if you are not first in the trials? Tomorrow is what counts. Suddenly all the tension seemed to ebb out of my body as the truth of what he said hit me. Confidently, I drew a line a full foot behind the board and jumped from there. I qualified with almost a foot to spare. That night I walked over to Louis Long's room in the Olympic Village to thank him. I knew that if it had not been for him, I probably would not be jumping in the finals. The following day, we sat in his quarters and talked for 2 hours about athletics, ourselves, the wood situation, and a dozen other things. When I finally got up to leave, we both knew that a real friendship had been formed. Louis would go out to the stadium the next day trying to beat me if he could, but I knew that he wanted me to do my best, even if that meant my winning. As it turned out, Louis broke his past record. In doing so, he pushed me on to a peak performance. I remember that at the instant I landed from my final jump, the one the one which set the Olympic record of 26 foot 5 by 16 inches, He was at my side, congratulating me, despite the fact that Hitler fled at us from the stands not a hundred yards away. Louis shook my hand hard, and it was not fake smile with Louis shook my hand hard, and is not a fake smile with a broken heart, sort of grief either. You could melt down all the gold medals and cups I have, and they would not be plating on the 24-carat friendship I felt for Louis long at that moment. I realized then too that Louis was the epitome what 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 de de Coubertin, founder of the modern Olympic Games, must have had in mind when he said the important thing in the Olympic Games is not winning but taking part. The original thing in life is not conquering but fighting well. Moral of the story: the people of no race are superior to those of others. Number two, the important thing in games is not winning but taking part. See, number three, we must feel gratitude lifelong for a person who has done us some good. Complete your lesson. Your homework is read lesson 1.